welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk to you all about how I became a licensed drone pilot. So I am going to be walking you through my journey, and really the goal of this video is to help you out, give you advice where I can, and also to give you some encouragement if you are currently going through this process. So let's go ahead and get started. So I ended up earning my drone pilot's license. I want to say it was either at the end of October or the beginning of November in 2020. So this is a goal that I actually had for a couple of years. And, at first I was all excited about it. And then I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm not cut out for this because the study material, it just seemed so different from anything that I have ever studied before. So I felt a little bit discouraged, and then I kind of hyped myself up again because I'm like, all right, well, if I can get drone footage, that is going to definitely take my video content up like significantly. And I personally am just so obsessed with drone footage. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So I ended up embarking on this journey again last summer. So the actual test is pretty interesting because it has a lot to do with airspace and climate, and there's actually a decent amount of meteorology involved in the drone test. So that is kind of what initially caused me to be a little bit hesitant when it came to getting my drone license, because that area just isn't my expertise. I'm more of a marketing person, a business person. So my brain hasn't really thought about science in a long time, to be honest. So initially what I did to try to study for the drone certification exam to be a pilot is back in 2020, I think I bought a Udemy course, and it was pretty low price. So that's really what attracted me to wanting to take that particular course to begin with. But let me tell you right now, I really do believe that you get what you pay for when it comes to the courses that you take to try to study up for the drone certification test, because the quality of that course material, it was very thorough and very in-depth. But the person that was teaching the actual class, I just could not pay attention. Like, it was just so monotone and so boring. And the concepts, I just felt like they were not explained in a very engaging way. And it was just really difficult for me to grasp. I honestly just had a really hard time focusing on the material just because of how it was explained. I need, somebody that is going to be engaging and really break down these concepts so that I truly understand it. And so that I'm not, just memorizing things for the test, but I can actually kind of walk myself through scenarios. That's the type of learner that I am. I'm also a very, very visual learner, and honestly, most people are. And so I needed somebody that was going to actually break down these scenarios for me and provide diagrams that make sense if you do not study meteorology for a living. So I'm not going to say what that specific course was on Udemy because I don't want to ruin anyone's business or anything like that. Not that that many people are even going to probably see this video, but I don't know. I don't want to ruin that for some people because it might actually work for some learners, but for me, it was not cutting it. So fast forward to 2020, I decided, all right, I'm going to give this goal another shot. I am going to, just give it my best shot and take this test. And so I ended up finding an amazing course, and it was definitely a little bit more expensive, but I'm pretty sure what it was is that if you fail the test and you get through all of their course training, then they would actually pay you for the test. I think that was the original setup. I'm not sure if they are still doing that, but the website is remotepilot101.com. And let me tell you, this course was an absolute game changer. So the instructor, his name is Jason, and I'm pretty sure he's also the one that owns the actual business. Not only is he a drone pilot, but he's also an actual airplane pilot. And it was so, so helpful the way that he explained the concepts. It was so much more engaging. And I just felt like he had a lot of excitement for the topic, and that also helped to get me more excited about it and kind of just to remember the end goal and why I'm doing this to begin with. So I'm just telling you right now that I don't know if I would have passed this test if it wasn't for this particular program, just because of the way that the concepts were explained. There are also practice tests at the end of every section, and I think a couple of maybe one or two master tests or something like that. But long story short, there are plenty of ways for you to practice these questions and really apply the concepts. And so, in my opinion, if you are trying to take the drone certification test and you are not, an extra sciencey person, like I said, you're not skilled up in, climate and meteorology and airspace and all of these different topics, then you are definitely going to want to give yourself at least a couple of months to study for this test. I want to say I started studying for this, maybe it was July or August. That's kind of really when I really got serious about it and was studying pretty often, and I really wanted to knock out these different modules. So again, I really recommend the program that I took, which was remotepilot101.com. If you want to really take your time and learn the concepts and not rush through it and really understand the material so that not only do you pass the test, but also you are a safe drone pilot and you are compliant, then I would really recommend that you take this test. And to be honest with you, there's nothing that gets me more frustrated than when I see like reckless drone pilots who obviously don't have their license. Like, I think that every single person who is out there flying a drone should have some sort of license, because you are messing with national parks and wildlife and different airspace rules, and it can get pretty dangerous and people are just so reckless. So I would recommend really doing it the right way and investing in a course so that you can really learn this and pass it the first time. So in terms of how much time I actually studied each week, I want to say I tried to do a couple of nights a week, kind of going through the modules, and tried to knock out at least one module a week. And then I really just took a lot of time to review the questions at the end of each module. I did this to make sure that I was comfortable with the material, and at the very least, if I was asked questions similar to what I saw in the module, then I would be able to answer them like 100%, no doubts at all. So when I actually got to the place to take my test, it's pretty interesting because the test was at the airport, and I've never been to the airport for anything other than flying. So that was kind of an interesting experience. And, I went up and I took my test, and I would say that a good number of them were pretty similar to what I saw in the program that I took. There were a couple of questions that were a little bit left field, but at the end of the day, I still passed. Something that really surprised me about the overall process to get my drone certification was I was a lot more nervous to learn how to fly my drone. Like, for some reason, I thought that was going to be insanely difficult. And to be honest, that was the easy part. The hard part was taking the time to study for the test. But I think that as long as you kind of invest in your education and you find a way to study that works for you, and by the way, invest in your education, that doesn't mean go out and buy an expensive course necessarily. But investing time into really learning the material and making sure that you're comfortable with what you're going to be tested on. As long as you do those things, then I think that you are going to be successful when it comes to acing this certification and being a safe pilot. So if you are interested in learning more about the course that I took, and by the way, this is not sponsored at all. I kind of just wanted to share my process because I think it could be helpful for some of you out there that are going through a similar process. I will actually share the link to the program that I took in my description. I also want to share some of the drone footage that I've been able to get as a result of the certification. I have had an awesome time with my drone so far, and I've taken it to a couple of different states. And it's honestly a huge value add when it comes to kind of just taking your video projects up to an entirely new level and making them look even more professional. So here is some of that drone footage. So I hope that this video was helpful. If you have any questions at all about the process that I went through to get my drone pilot certification, then definitely let me know in the comments. And also, if you want me to kind of go a little bit more in depth on, a specific part of the process when it comes to studying and taking the drone certification test, definitely let me know, because I would love to make more content to help all of you. And so If this video was helpful, I would appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel for similar content in the future. And until next time, I hope that you all have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.